So, on a bit of interesting news that came out the other day, it seems that the folks at Gung Ho Online has decided to release Grandia 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch and PC. Now, I find this very interesting simply because, one, Grandia 1 and 2 came out in the late 90s, early 2000s for the Saturn, PlayStation, and Dreamcast platforms. And we really haven't seen much of them, these games, since I think Grandia X or Grandia Online on the PlayStation 2. But at the same time, they're going to do a full remaster, but not release them on the bigger platforms, the PS4 or Xbox One. At least we don't know of at this time. So I'll just give a side story here. I remember playing Grandia 1 on the PS1 many years ago. I had heard that it was a decent JRPG because I'm a huge fan of JRPGs, and I took my lunch to drive all the way to Circuit City. And for those of you who remember the company Circuit City, you'll know I'm telling my age here. But I went to Circuit City and I purchased Grandia for the PS1, actually at full price when I could really not afford it. But that was one of the few games that I could not put down. And I'll tell you guys right off the bat, I pride myself at being able to walk away from any game. You know, I can play a game for an hour or 2 hours, and then put it down and come back at a later time. Because there's stuff we have to do as a parent and as employees and stuff like that. But Grandia was one of the few ones where I had a really hard time putting the controller down. When the kids were a lot younger, and they wanted stuff from, dad, and dad had a hard time putting the controller down and helping out with the kids. Um, in fact, I remember beating the first one, and I think it took about 70 to 80 hours to defeat it, and it did not feel like 70 to 80 hours. I just could not stop playing it. It was that fun. Um, I didn't play Grandia 2, and I'm not sure why. I think that was when I purchased it. It was at the end of the Dreamcast life, and I was playing something else at the time. Or either that, or I was very disenchanted by one of the other JRPGs I was playing at the time. I think it was Lunar Silver Side Story Complete. But anyway, that's a totally different story. But I have to say, this is actually a pretty cool thing for the Nintendo Switch to grab. They've been grabbing a lot of older games. Like I mentioned, they are getting Diablo 3. But you know, that was actually released on modern consoles. So I really didn't understand why that was being released on Nintendo Switch, because I figured everybody's who had a chance to play it has already played it. But whereas Grandia being a game that's almost 20 years old, obviously you have a generation or two of players that have not had a chance to play it. So bringing it out on a big platform like the Switch kind of makes sense. In fact, I would say release it on all the platforms. But hey, that's just me. Anyway, I wanted to get your thoughts on Grandia being on the Nintendo Switch. I think I'll probably get it, depending on the price. I could see, if it's a full remaster, I could see paying full price. And what would be even cooler would be a decent collector's edition. Of course, I don't know what would be a decent collector's edition for a Switch, but I really don't need statues or an art book or maybe a cool soundtrack. I'm a fan of soundtracks. Um, I don't need an art book, but maybe a few figurines or something. I don't know. Uh, if you have any ideas, what would be a good collector's edition for Grandia? Let me know. Post in the comments below. I like talking to you guys. But at the same time, like I said, I want to know your thoughts on Grandia being released on the Nintendo Switch. Do you think that's pretty cool? Do you think it's a little too late? Tell me your Grandia memories. Did you finish both 1 and 2, or just 1, or just 2? Let me know. Anyway, I'm out of here, and until next time, peace out, players.